Hello, welcome back. Today we're talking about what you have to do when you're watching things in English to make sure you're not wasting your time. Listen to this, it's actually very simple. If you're watching something in English, anything at all, a movie, an episode of series that you like, a YouTube video, anything, and you're not really learning anything from this, you're wasting your time. What do I mean by anything? I mean that when the movie has finished, when the episode of that series has finished, when the video has finished, you need to remember a sentence or a word from what you've just seen. If you're watching something but you're done, you've finished, and you don't remember anything, you're not really watching, are you? I'm going to give you some examples about me, about my life recently with English, okay? I watched that movie called Marriage Story on Netflix. It's a great movie, by the way. If you're feeling like a little bit of drama, it's a very good one. I watched that and something really caught my attention. Caught is the past of catch. So it caught my attention. I was watching and I was like, oh, and I never forgot about it. There's this lawyer and a client comes in to see her and the client is talking and the lawyer offers the client some biscuits, okay? Some very nice biscuits. It's not biscuit, it's biscuit, okay? Important pronunciation tip here. And the client is talking, telling the lawyer about her problems and eating the biscuits. And then she says how wonderful those biscuits are, how delicious they are. And the lawyer then says, I'll send you home with some. I'll send you home with some. Really? What is that? I would never think of saying that sentence like that. I'll probably just say, I'll give you some to take home. But I thought it was so great that she said, I'll send you home with some, that I learned that sentence. I learned it so much that I'm telling you about this now. And I watched this movie about 2 months ago. You see, if I remember, it's because I learned it. I recently went to the cinema to watch Judy. You know Judy, the movie about Judy Garland? I went to see that movie because I'm a drama girl. And watching the movie, there's the scene where the fans are waiting downstairs to see Judy perform in London, and they had told them that she was not actually going to perform that night anymore, but the fans were very upset about it because they really wanted to see Judy. So they are waiting they're there at the theatre waiting to really make sure that she's not gonna be performing, when suddenly they hear Judy singing and one of them says, she's on, and they ran upstairs to see her. When you're learning English and you hear she's on, you're thinking, what? What they mean is she is on stage. The stage is that place you get on to perform, okay? So she's on means she's on stage. It means she's doing what she's supposed to do. So if you're not listening, I know this sentence. I didn't learn this sentence, but it's a sentence that I remember because when I'm watching something in English, I'm really listening. One more example. You probably know this because I have mentioned this on Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, here's my Instagram so you can follow me there. There are lots of tips and things happening. I think you'll like it. I watched The Stranger, the TV series, which is amazing. And I learned about a new animal when I watched it, which is alpaca. Alpaca is very similar to a llama. Very similar. Almost the same thing, but it's alpaca. And the reason why I remember this is because when they said it, I looked it up. I got my phone and I looked it up so I could do a search and force myself to remember. I'm probably never gonna say the word alpaca in my life, but I always think it's great to know things, because then people say things and you understand what they're saying because you know the word. So after you watch something in English, force yourself to remember a sentence or a word. It's actually better if it's a sentence when you're watching than just a word. And write it down and force yourself to think about this for a few days so that you really learn it. You only really learn something when you force yourself to think about it. You're not going to learn anything just by watching stuff if you're not really, truly listening and bringing that into your life. I hope it's been helpful, and I'll see you next time, that's for sure. Thank you for being here today.